who's up next here. Let's talk to Henry in California, listening on XM 166. You're on the air, Henry.
Hi, Alex. I just wanted to talk to you real briefly about how you mentioned at the start of the show. I believe it's the free Onyx deal that they're giving away. The XM, that is.
Yes, I just heard the ad about free portable radio, and that's not a paid commercial. I was saying I'm going to get one of those.
Because definitely, I have a lifetime subscription to XM, and I want to say there was a period before you filled in the slot on America's Talk where I basically did not listen to America's Talk. I thought it was one of the worst channels on there. But within the short period of time that you've been on America's Talk, I really think you rallied the whole channel around and into force. I believe, honestly, you could probably have your own channel if you were to somehow negotiate the contracts. I know it's not, with XM, not even about the bandwidth. You have to have the contracts. People have to be there to listen to it. But I honestly think that it could compete for the bandwidth.
Well, I mean, it was about 2 years ago or more. XM just fell in our lap. We didn't even really, I guess over time listeners had approached them. And I know Ted had talked to them, and they said, yeah, no, because they saw ratings on terrestrial radio around the country. We can take small stations and make them number one. So they put us on at night, and then it did good. They put us on during the day. And it's wonderful because anybody can get an XM receiver and listen to the show. And again, I personally, for whatever reason, would never get, I guess I hadn't bought a car in many years, so I never had XM. And then three and a half years ago, I bought a Dodge Charger, and it had Sirius in it. And of course, I listen to radio all the time. And we also have a portable one you can take around the house, but it's an older system. Now I can listen to all the TV channels, but not look at them. It's hard to look at the wicked devils on CNN and other channels. Listening to them isn't as painful, even though, looking at them, it's the whole flicker rate and the TV thing. I've stopped watching TV, and it's brought me back into being able to analyze what they're up to on television, that I can skip through television. They've got hundreds of TV stations on there. And so, yes, I am a XM Sirius addict. And I'm not saying that because I've been on there 2 years now. I have begun to listen. I don't listen to myself, because that's torture, but I occasionally, I take off the day, and then I can listen to one of the guest hosts sitting there, and my children like to listen. But anything else, sir?
Yes, I wanted to add those little portable radios as a lifetime user of one. They have saved me in a few situations by being able to find south with the sheer, geosynchronous orbit, all the math, yada, yada. You can probably get into, all the things you need to about moving around, how it's better with GPS. But the rudimentary idea that you can find south with those things has saved me a lot of time. I can turn it on. Am I pointing south somehow? And I can find my bearing from there. I know that'll help somebody out there. You know what I mean?
All right, thank you. I appreciate the call, Henry. Yeah, no, I love XM, and I am. I just told them out there, we're looking at that system. I'm going to get 2 of them here in the office. Plus, if POTUS or something's giving a speech, why wire it off the television? Or why wire it off whitehouse.gov? We'll just stream the sucker, right off XM and plug XM while we're at it. Okay, let's go ahead and talk to Rick in California. Thanks for holding, Rick. Go ahead.
Hi, Alex. Pleasure to speak with you, Prison Planet TV member.
Thank you.
Alex, just 2 quick points if there's time. I've been a prosecutor for nearly 30 years in California. And the first point is it's very difficult, at first to wrap your mind around a lot of these concepts. It takes time. And what woke me up more than anything was the chemtrail issue. There it is in full, smoking gun in the sky, spraying everywhere. And you call people about it, congressmen, whatever, and they lie to you and tell you that it's condensation. That's just absolutely infuriating.
Exactly. We are living in the beginnings of a artificial environment, false reality. It's not there yet, but when you actually read the globalist white papers, their own public reports, they talk about building this even 100 years ago, 80 years ago, 30, 40 years ago. It's all there. And you find out, wait, you're putting fluoride in my water? You know it increases cancer? You know it lowers IQ? You know it affects the pineal gland? Wait, you know the GMO is sterilizing every mammal species that eats it within 3 generations? Wait, you know vaccines are damaging kids? And that's what I'm saying. The police are good. The prosecutors are good in the past on average. But everyone has slowly just been twisted with Jack Bauer torturing people and all of this to now, oh, yeah, the Army's on the street. What's the big deal? We've just slowly been incrementally, like the frog in the pot, brought into this. Go ahead. You've been holding. I'll shut up.
It's just, you know, you presume in the regularity of government if you're a guy like me in Northern California, you know, a deputy DA, and you're prosecuting criminals. And then, you know, your mind is blown apart, Alex, by the realization and the wake-up that comes with this. I mean, can you imagine in Arizona, you know, where there's no humidity and they're saying that's condensation and it stays there for 3 hours and, you know, bleaches the sky and, you know, whitens it. And I mean,
but it's worse. It's worse than that. 16 years ago, Clifford Carnicom and all these environmental researchers were getting aircraft tests, and they were saying it's aluminum dioxide, barium salts, all this other stuff. And then the government comes out 3 years ago and goes, There is a giant secret test, but we won't tell you the details. We've been spraying and list everything that the old-timers said. And then you find the patents to add it to the jet fuel, and then you find out about the Department of Energy programs, and then you find out about UN treaties in 1976, and then you find out about the chemtrail legislation 2002. Exactly. It's crazy.
We're being lied to. And this is the mind blower for me. The other point, very quickly, the whole notion of conspiracy theorist, that ought to be rejected. The new term ought to be whistleblowers. That's what these people are. They're just whistleblowers. Larry McDonald told us in 1983 he was a congressman and he was mysteriously shot down over Soviet airspace. He was the head of the John Birch Society. I love that video. I don't know if you've ever seen it.
Oh, no, they made a deal. They made a deal with him on CNN, his other speeches. They made a deal to land him. And they took him off, and it was to confirm they basically tortured him over several years. Our own criminal government let Russia do that to get rid of him because he was smart, good-looking, charismatic. Larry McDonald scared the system bad.
So Ron Paul, and there he is on Crossfire in 1983 talking about the New World Order. And they were looking at him like he was crazy. And he said, look, gentlemen, a conspiracy is just a criminal agreement between two or more people. That's all it is. And Eisenhower talked about it in the military-industrial complex.
Listen, let me add to this. Rick, you're on fire with these points. We ought to play that CNN sometime, because I knew that's where you were going, that Crossfire. This is what's so incredible about this. Every day I read the newspaper, and it's this person charged with conspiracy to help somebody rob a bank, or this guy charged with conspiracy because they got together and had meetings about robbing this auto parts store. Of course there's conspiracy, but when government's involved, we're told it's impossible. Now, how ridiculous is that? All the conspiracy theory is now is not believing confirmed liars. And this is what's dangerous. This is why the evil is so smart. As they allow this corruption to continue, it then discredits the entire system, turns the people against the system, and then only the corrupt are in there, and then the globalist can basically fully implode things. You see, the globalists have a leg up on us for one reason. They don't mind wrecking things. In fact, they like it. They don't have any rules. They study how to manipulate. And that's why they're so hard to beat, is because they don't play by the rules. Go ahead.
Yeah, and the only other thing I'd say is I wondered if you saw the movie Thrive, what you thought of that. And then finally, why aren't there any CIs? We need to explain why aren't confidential informants coming out like pilots or biologists that make these horrible things, you know, and why aren't they coming out? Don't they have a conscience?
Well, let me tell you, Jim Keith was talking to some of them, and God, he wrote Black Helicopters Over America, Black Helicopter Strike Force, The New World Order in the early 90s. And they killed him. There's no doubt about it, because he did have the informants. And that's why the minute I get something that's powerful and confirmed, I put it out, because it's like I told the D.C. madam. I said, you got to get all that out or destroy it. And I said, don't tell me anything off air. I don't want to be killed. And you know, because she had top people visiting her and her women. And it's the same thing. They have an NSA program that's been partially declassified, where they spy on millions of government and corporate employees. And they let them know they're being spied on, their phones, everything. So they've got computers watching them, and it's just that fear. And they've seen so many whistleblowers come out. I mean, Sybil Edmonds came out and heard the government commanding al-Qaeda on 9/11. And she was threatened with arrest if she told the public. she went ahead and broke her gag order later. So see, the problem is there have been a lot of whistleblowers, Rick.
What I would reject this whole conspiracy theorist label and say we are whistleblowers. That's all we are. I mean, Building 7 on 9/11, these are smoking guns, just absolute smoking guns. The put options that were taken out in the stock market before the 9/11, I mean, these are smoking guns. How could people miss this stuff? You know, it's amazing that they can be spraying over the sky in checkerboards and people, they're missing it.
And then we've got the government programs where they're doing it. And then they go, oh, look, that's just condensation trail. Yeah, a lot of them are. And are there kooks that, you know, think that everything is that? Yeah, but that doesn't matter. There is a giant geoengineering program. It's been partially declassified. And the soil levels of these barium salts, aluminum's going up. And Monsanto's coming out with a seed line that can live in it. The government is hoarding giant underground seed vaults everywhere. The Rockefellers, the UN are doing it. Great points, Rick. Good to hear from you. I should have asked Rick if his fellow prosecutors are starting to wake up. Steve, you're up next. Then we'll get, oh, no, Joey's first, then Steve, then Rick, then Rodney, and others. We'll be right back. PrisonPlanet.tv, GCNlive.com.
Discover a natural way to experience cleaner, healthier indoor air without expensive filters and high-priced machines. Discover what healthcare professionals have known for decades. Salt ionizes and purifies indoor air. That's why you need to visit SilverSkyImports.com. SilverSkyImports.com offers a wide assortment of Himalayan crystal salt lamps, handcrafted from salt crystals that are millions of years old, contain healthy ions that eliminate odor, reduce bacteria, and can even help allergy and asthma sufferers, which means you and your family will breathe better, sleep sounder, and have more energy. These salt lamps are available in stunning, natural colors and shapes to accent any home or office, are environmentally friendly, and best of all, they're affordable. And don't forget, SilverSkyImports.com also carries gourmet and bath salts. Order today at SilverSkyImports.com or call 800-494-1369. That's 800-494-1369. Breathe easier, feel better, live healthier at SilverSkyImports.com.
Hey folks, this is Crazy Melvin for eFoods Direct, and I'm slashing prices to get you the best deals on your food supply. Call now and save on a 25-year food supply that can save your life when disaster strikes, because it will strike and it will smack you right upside the head, so keep...
Wait a minute, Melvin. I know eFoods Direct, and they're not full of hype like you. eFoods Direct goes to great lengths to ensure you get the best ingredients, full of nutrition and flavor. They are the real deal. Melvin, you're right about one thing, though. For Black Friday weekend, eFoods will save you 30% off anything on their website at efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Now, that's a deal with no hype. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex and save 30% off your entire order. This deal only lasts through Monday, November 28th, so call now. Call 800-409-5633 or go to efoodsdirect.com/Alex. Remember, 30% off this Black Friday weekend. Leave the hype to Crazy Melvin, because you can bet your life on eFoods Direct.
If you constantly feel run down and tired, your pH level might be low and your body could be full of toxins. If what you drink is not at a pH level of 8 or higher, you are inviting bacteria and acid to thrive in your body. But there is something you can do. Simply add 10 drops of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops to your water to help your body rid itself of acidic waste, increase oxygen, and raise your pH balance to optimum levels. AlkaVision Plasma pH drops combine a unique formula of the most alkaline minerals in the world, alkalizing the water you drink, ridding your body of acidic waste and toxins, and helping you regain energy and vibrant health. And studies show viruses, bacteria, and toxins cannot survive in an alkaline, high pH environment. Order your bottle of AlkaVision Plasma pH drops at alkavision.com. That's ALKA vision.com. Or call 269-409-1776. 269-409-1776. Alkalize your body. Supercharge your health at alkavision.com today.